That's one. I engineer play. That means when I look at the year's calendar, I look, my child at this age, what kind of play experience is important? And because we're in Singapore, like I said, my values are I cut down travel time. If you're a government servant, having a bungalow in Chalet, going down to Johor, actually cuts the travel time, increase the play time. There's no need to fly all the way to Vancouver to go skiing in Whistler. They can do that when they're teenagers. But if you have 10 days and you spend 4 days traveling, I find that not a good use of time. But I find that because as income grows up, that kind of aspirations still come in. So time is, like it's been shared on the floor, time is your premium. Rightly or wrongly, I teach my kids the other way around. Okay, I teach them about time. We go running in some posh area in, say, Redoubt Park. We like to run and cycle. I like to cycle my kids, or Upper Bukit Timah. And I stop outside a house. I say, son, this house costs $6 million. Okay? Even if I earn $1 million a year, and I'm supposed to buy this house, do you think this house is worth 6 years of your papa's life? And she will turn around at me and say, no, continue staying in our flat. So I teach my kids about time this way. Okay, I say that if you really, really want to stay in a bungalow, I think Singapore is not the place. All right, I mean, Singapore is a place where you pick your choice. There are some things, there's no free lunch for everything. Okay, you go to and stay in a Western country where you can buy big bungalow for $300,000, but you also pay 50% tax. Right? You want the kind of choice? Go ahead and do it. Okay, so I teach them in terms of time. Okay, so the big picture of time comes in. I say, okay, how about today? What kind of time do you need? So my number one suggestion is get rid of the television. I have no television in my house. My kids, when they come back and they see their cousin watching TV. Last time, why you got fever? Is it raining? No, television to them was when you are sick, when you sprain your leg, and outside very stormy, dirty, then you cannot go out, then you watch television. Right? So the habit of after dinner turn on television, I think is to me, it's one of the no-nos for a family, especially your family living in an apartment, because television will affect the whole house. Scrape it. You don't need a television. And that saves you. In China, they have 100 over channels. I sat down with my kid. Every channel you change, if 30 seconds, 160 channels, half an hour, You haven't even watched anything. Nick. I said, half an hour of life, do you want to do that? No, half an hour, we can already, play a game of football, badminton, or tennis. So I would say switch. And when I tell that to families, one of the tensions immediately come out is grandparents, because grandparents want to watch Right? So we have to resolve that. Okay? So my recommendation is my own time saving factor is I will stay near to the school that my kids go to. Okay? So you adjust. Okay? I don't drive my kids to school. Right? I don't believe in buying a car. Right? I tell my kids, I say a car, let's say I earn $300,000. A car is worth 1 year of my salary. Worth it or not worth it? They will tell me not worth it. Sometimes can hire. I say good choice. Right? So we try to live near the school. So when they choose a school, it's a plus minus factor. Right? And then we save time that way. We don't go fly far away for holidays. We go near place that they will enjoy. We don't watch TV. We spend time in the library. We go together. Right? And at the end of the day, it comes down to this thing. So, son, what do you think is a ballpark figure? Right? And they will tell you. Our kids themselves love challenges. We have to motivate them that correctly. They will know that I think I can do this and beyond. Number 2, number 3, number 4. I say, sure. I engineer studying in groups. And my kids' parents, sometimes they love me. I say, hey, your son nothing to do on Saturday. Come. I look after them. Okay, I book futsal courts, right? And I get a fathers and son soccer game together every week. Sometimes when I want to do project science I get my friends, their other sons to come. I have selfish vested interests, because if they come to a group, they spend their 2 hours together, they actually work very hard. And they work, I say, after 2 hours, we play soccer. Then you don't play a fool, then you finish your work now, okay, you fella. And then you do together. So I engineer. If you have parents like that to form small groups, help them motivate each other. I find that very useful. So that's why staying near the school added advantage, because then there's a higher chance that you can find other students that can form this group. And I tell the parents, I tell the schools, this one, my son not coming. Of course, I have the privilege, I can give MC. But I haven't done it there, okay, ethically. So far, I haven't done it there. So far, the teachers are pretty reasonable. Okay.
You still have about another 5 more minutes.
Maybe one more question or comment? Yes.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Tan. I think it's great that you're giving to APS because I'm actually a youth counselor and I work with at-risk youth.
Yes.
And some of my clients are from there. Earlier you showed a slide with showing the income gap of the various nations. I think one of the common criticisms of our education system is it's getting increasingly segregated. We have streaming in secondary school, and now we have a whole school dedicated to normal technical students. I think there are compelling arguments on both sides. I just want to know what your thoughts on this direction that we are taking.
Okay. This is where I think I'm humbled by it. In the end, I cannot tell my son, you study hard, get a degree and get a good job, earn good money, because that is no longer true. I suspect that's going to be no longer true, because I'm humbled by it because we are a small pond. In the world that is globalized. The income gap is not a Singapore problem, it's a worldwide problem. High inflation rate, high HDB prices, high housing, foreign labor, all these are worldwide problems. It's issues of globalization which no government can change. Not so easy. Okay, unless you come with me, stay in the mountain top in this village in Nujiang. Okay, cannot change one. So I suspect that salaries will move. Okay, I suspect that the days of high investment, where private investment bankers earn big money, may change. The insurance agents, are being tightened. Okay, government minister salary also drop. I think there will be policies of equity coming out. So I tell my son very honestly, I say, really, if you want to be in a village, you be a farmer. You want to stay in the city, the ideal job is a plumber. You will not starve. But my son don't like to touch dirty things. I say you can do plumbing, do your PhD in plumbing, but don't forget how to unclog the toilet, you will not starve. If you take away foreign talent from cleaning our toilets and from doing all the heavy job, it will come. That's possible. But your char kway teow will cost $8, just like America. That's all. That means my son can clean the tables at $8 per hour. Okay, prices will go up. Then our disposable income will go down. Okay? So when you talk about technical training, vocational training, okay, if they have a skill, but the big factor is always macro issues. War, drought, climate change, and we are susceptible to that. But I cannot live on that because that leaves me with nothing. But that's why I train my kids in resilience, in character, and say it's all right, the dignity of labor. I remember going to Perth once, and we went jogging. And the rubbish man came and collected rubbish, Okay. So we look at it. Then lunchtime, we went to a park. The rubbish man came again. Then he stopped. Came down, went to the toilet, washed his hand, sat in the park bench beside me, took out his book, reading. You know what book he read? Les Miserables, by Victor Hugo. So I told my son, I said, son, what do you think? He said, this guy rubbish man, educated. My surgeon friend never read book. And I think that caught him. I said, look at the book he's reading. He's reading Les Mis, no? Right. I said, son.
In English or French?
English. I said, son, this is what I hope you'll be, that you will have a lifelong career. I teach them about money. I teach them a lot about money, about living within cost. I tell them, you know why I don't buy you this branded thing? And they ask me why. I said, because it exceeds your 1 month salary if you're working as a IT technician. I said, I cannot buy you anything, not for your birthday, anything. I cannot buy you anything that will exceed your salary next time when you are a fresh working person. I said, it makes nonsense of you. I see this in China, you see. So in China, as the boom went, I have a friend who runs factory, and they were employing engineers, Chinese engineers that were educated in California and came back. And then the engineers never turned up for work. He said, why? Challenging job, latest technology, design this, design that. Then he realized something. He was paying general salary, but less than what the engineer's father was giving him. And the fellow said, won't turn up for work. 来不来没问题嘛，老爸给我钱。And so if we are not careful, we'll do this. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon. I just want to thank you because I think your presentation was excellent. The way I see it, you were focusing really on value system. And for me, I came from the top school in Singapore. So one of the things I've learned from my experience of getting into the top school is about 3 years ago, I was the MC of the reunion, all right? And I met a girl whom I've never met for so many years, all right? And I got in touch with her after the reunion. I had lunch with her. And I said, hey, I don't know. I mean, we weren't very close. I mean, I really didn't know her well during the school days. Whereas I was, chief editor of the school newspaper. I was president of the Interact Club. I was prefect. And I happened to be in the cohort of that year where my people I rub shoulders with are extremely influential, all right? I also went to medical school for 1 year, all right? So I'm the kind of person who went on to try a lot of things, and I've learned what my passion is. And I've learned about values, and so that's why I really appreciate what you say. I see in the context of very, very smart people whom I rub shoulders with, and I wonder where all these value systems are. So let me tell you a little bit about at least that particular experience with this girl. And she probably is one of the highest flyers in the financial industry, all right? She makes maybe 7 figures salary. And I asked her, hey, but in school, I don't remember seeing you in the afternoons, Those were the days when, you end your class at 1 o'clock. And she looked at me quite sheepishly and she said, I went home straight to study. Yeah? So I'm wondering, because I spent so much time in school those days. I did well enough. I never even thought of getting into medical school. It was in one of those curriculum that the ministry introduced suddenly where you could take biology at A level. So you could get into any particular a department, a particular course at NUS. So I just went to medical school, but I didn't take through, is it? All right? And what I realized is that 2 things. My questions here for both moderators is this. You talk so much about value system, but for parents, I'm at that stage of life where I decided not to get hitched until very late in life, right? So I can perhaps fully exploit all these experiences which you're actually sharing with me. So coming to what I'm trying to tell you is this. When I look back to those days, and I look at my own life and I look at people who are doing so well, all right? Another girl who is probably she's probably one of the highest and most well-known female corporate personalities in the world, all right? She sits as the group CEO of a very big corporation, all right? I was a president, she was one of my committee members in the Interact Club. So when I look at all this and the time I spent in Interact Club, I had some passion. I'm not going to say, wow, it was value system, I wanted to help the poor and everything else. I just enjoyed it. And then I look at the system right now and I say, like what the ministry just announced, they said, now we are talking about character. We want to reward $500, you get involved in character kind of activities and all. And then I tell myself, and I look at that girl and all, wow, she went back, she just concentrated on her studies, okay. This is the dilemma I think a lot of parents are facing. On the other hand, to me, when I look at what I did, and I went into the technology industry. I breathe and live in technology. I love what I do. When you talk about Cleft, for example, the kind of things I'm doing now is basically exploiting technology where I try to help to collaborate missions, Cleft missions, they do a lot of things, but there are other people that they don't know the right hand what the left hand is doing, So I'm trying to, get and try to integrate using, technologies to help these kind of mission groups and all. So I enjoy so much what I'm doing. Right? But when I look at others and I see what the system is also right now, I'm very skeptical. Right? I don't have much, this thing. So my question is to both moderators, one to you, because, you got so much exposure with your kids and all. And the other one, which we've seen the educational industry still, is, I mean, how do you see it in today's world? I mean, you've got to be practical, all right? So I don't quite agree. I mean, on one hand, I do agree with what you are doing, all right? I think fantastic. The values are so important, and I've learned so much from what you do. But on the other hand, in terms of practicality, I see that, you better go and make sure you got reasonable score. And the third thing, of course, just to catch up on where you said just now about what the future is, yes, I totally agree with you. It's no more a case of, just assuming that, you also score, you have a good future. But it means still you do not, you don't forgo your academic prowess if you have it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I have to give a one-line answer because they are signaling that time's up behind. My wife described me as a skeptical, cynical, pragmatic person. I count the cost. I will lay down for the kids. This is the amount of money you need to survive the month. You're not going to be a beggar. So I lay to them, what they need to do to get on. My son figured out that if he cleans table at hawker center, he can make it. That was his bottom line up. So everything else is up. Okay? I would say that, then I asked my son to look at my friends. Those of us who are post-war baby boomers, we are lucky. Anything we did, we ride on the Singapore wave. Don't have to do anything. Just upgrade your house, your money go up already. So you don't gamble, never fool around. Never. I have friends who are high flyers in jail. Right? I think you all have. Because CBT, because, whatever. Right? They're in jail. That one, I show it to my friends, I show it to my kids and say, don't go there. These are friends we have. So I asked my friends, I asked my kids to look at my friends now, my peers, as we go out, I said, can you tell who is a high flyer, who is a millionaire, who is a big-time CEO? Among the 20, 30 close friends that we have, my kids tell me, Papa, we can't tell. But we can tell you who is a nice guy. And who is a nice parent. I said, do you know where my emphasis is? And they said, yes. I work with the poor. Poverty is no fun. There's nothing romantic about poverty. It's sickening, it's degrading, it's terrible. There's loss of dignity. I've seen mothers crying because they have no money to feed their kids. No one wants to go. I don't advocate that we become, stay in ashrams and be very poor. No. Okay? But the dream of total wealth also a myth. Okay? Our wealth is in our children, and our children's wealth is in their integrity, their character, their resilience. And I want to say that I think the life ahead is going to be tough. Right? That's why all the more I want to go there in that. Okay, I think our time is up. I'm happy to stay around interaction. And again, I tell you, not for me, support Peace A Assumption Pathway School. Just leave $10 on the table.
I will just end with one sentence. And what is your aspiration? What are your aspirations as parents? What are your aspirations for your children? For me, even as an educator, my children are not high flyers. But what I want to inbuild in them is that passion for learning. All right, the resilience to work on. And let me assure you, my children did not do very well in PSLE, but they work hard. All right, they work hard, and I'm very happy to see them succeeding in life. My eldest son is 21 years old, by the way. Right, and I'd like to leave the last sentence for Dr. Tan Layong. In our school, we sell first-class education, and to our society, we give our hearts to inspire all children to the path of excellence. Thank you so much for your presence here. Thank you.